we're here for part 3 of the phonological signing, the sounds and signs of each letter. Again, it's important as we teach these signs and sounds that we make sure that the sign goes with the sound. If you want to teach the letter names with signs, there are many videos on American Sign Language that are good for that. So we'll start with the letter H. This is the letter H. The sound for the letter H is the sign of each sound represents what's supposed to look with your hand like the lowercase letter does. The lowercase h has a tall stick and a short hump. So we put our fingers into a rounded hump. We use our elbow pointing towards the sky, and then we put the hand not touching the mouth but near the mouth, and we say the sign and sound for the letter H are This is the letter I. The letter I has capital I and lowercase I. The letter I is a vowel, so it has two signs. It has a sign for the short sound of I and a sign for the long sound of I. The sign for the short sound of I is with our pinky finger pointed towards the ceiling, with our elbow pointed towards the floor, and with our thumb and hand towards our body. You put your pinky finger underneath the eye that's on the same side of the body. This is supposed to look like the lowercase I, and your eye is the dot on the eye. The sign and sound for the letter I are I. This sound is very similar to the sign and sound for the letter E, so it's important to make sure you're listening to your child and make sure they're pronouncing the sound correctly. It should be I, I. The long I says I. The long I sound is with your elbow pointed out and with the same pinky pointed towards your eye, but with your fingers and thumb away from your body and the back of your hand towards your body, with your finger on the side of your eye, and then you can say I. The short sound is I. The long sound is I. This is the letter J, the capital J and the lowercase j. The sign for the lowercase j and its sound J is with the same pinky. You start where the middle line would be. You go down to where the bottom line would be and below, and then up a little bit with the curve to make the shape of the lowercase j, and you say J, J. The sign and sound for J are J. This is the letter K. There's the capital K and the lowercase k. And the sign and sound for the lowercase k you make by putting your thumb up towards the sky, two fingers out. I like to teach children by telling them to use two fingers first, then to turn it sideways so that they're looking at the palm of their hand, the back of their hand away from them, and then put your thumb up. And then the sound is k. You can see this kind of makes the lowercase k into the shape of your hand. The sign and sound for the letter K are k. It's important, again, just like with C, to be sure that your child is not saying ka, but rather k. This is the letter L. This is the capital L and the lowercase l. The letter L makes the sound O. The sign for O is all 5 fingers together, your thumb included there. Turn your hand where it is making a T with your body and to say O. The sign and sound for the letter L are O. This is the letter M. The letter M, of course, has a capital M and a lowercase m. For the sign and sound for the letter M, you use 3 fingers. It's very important to use 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, the first 3, with your thumb holding your pinky down. Then you turn that over, put your elbow towards the sky and your fingers towards the ground. You can see that since the has 2 humps, your fingers are also making 2 humps. You put this not on your mouth, but near your mouth by your cheek and say It's very easy for young children to confuse the sound of M and N, so it's very important that you over-exaggerate this sound as you teach it. Make sure and show them that their two lips are together and folded in, and they say, mm. When your two lips are together and folded in, it's not possible to make the wrong sound there. Mm. This is the very similar letter N, and the capital N and the lowercase n. The sound for the letter N is N. When we make the sound for the letter N, it's important when we teach children to keep their lips apart. Your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth, and you say N. For this sign, we use two fingers. Again, with our thumb holding down the other two fingers. You point your elbow towards the sky and your finger towards the ground. Place them by your cheek, and you can see that it makes the one hump, the same as the letter N has one hump. And the sound for the letter N is N. With your mouth open, your lips open, and your tongue on the roof of your mouth. N. We'll do a quick review of the sounds we've learned in this video. This is the letter H. Its sound and sign are This is the letter I. Its sound and signs are I and I. This is the letter J. Its sounds and signs are J. The letter K. Its sound and sign is K. The letter L. Its sounds and sign are O. This is the letter M. Its sign and sound are M. This is the letter N. Its sound and signs are N. I'd like to show you how we can use these signs and sounds to sound out words, just with the first two videos you've seen. If we were to write a word like this, children could use the signs and sounds to sound the word out. They would say, use one finger to point to the letter and the other hand to make the sign, since each sign is made with one hand. They would say, ah, And then as they got more proficient with the signs, they could do that faster. An, an. And here that the sounds, when put together, make man. So the signs can be used to help teach the children the sounds and also to help them blend words together. Thank you. Please continue to watch for part 3 and 4.